If you are an international student in the UK, this video could save your visa. Every year, thousands of students unknowingly break UK student visa rules, not because they want to, but because no one clearly explains what's actually allowed and what's strictly prohibited. In today's episode, we are talking about 5 things that are not allowed on a UK student visa, the real rules that can lead to visa cancellation, future refusals, or even deportation if ignored. We will cover common mistakes like working over the allowed hours, freelancing, self employment, online income, prohibited jobs, and activities students assume are safe but are actually illegal under UK immigration law. To break this down clearly and correctly, I'm joined by Amil from Mac25 Immigration, an experienced immigration professional who works closely with international students and understands how strictly the UK Home Office enforces student visa compliance. If you're currently studying in the UK or planning to apply for a UK student visa, watch this episode till the end. One wrong move can cost you years of future visa opportunities. So let's get started. Hi Amil, welcome to Your Knowledge Buddy. And as usual, can you please start with your introduction, please?
Didn't everybody know me yet?
No, you need to still work hard.
Okay. My name is Mohammad Amil. I'm an ex-international student, your immigration expert, which
Yay.
helps you all kind of business and personal immigration matter based in my small nest in Canary Wharf, where you can call or reach me out.
Yeah, that's not small, yeah? And that also in Canary Wharf.
Yeah.
You're quite humble by saying that.
Need to be.
Today's topic is all about student, like, what are the things they are not allowed to do. And I know there are a lot of people who do something which is illegal as well. So we'll talk about everything which is allowed versus what is not allowed on a student visa.
Right.
Okay. So my first question to you, what are the biggest misconceptions students have about what they can do and they cannot do on a UK student visa?
I think me being an international ex-student, I know all the rules and regulation. I studied 2 masters here myself, and the rules are pretty much the same which was there before. And the biggest misconception is that you can work full-time while you are studying in the UK. So you need to understand that there is a diversion between them. So let's say if you're during your term time, you're only allowed to work 20 hours a week. But during your vacations or just before your visa expiry, you're allowed to work full time once you successfully complete your course. I think this is the biggest misconception any student has always got. They think I can do best YouTube videos and monetize them, or maybe I can do any setup e-commerce shop and I can earn from them. You need to understand the limitations of a student visa. So I think as overall approach, you cannot work full time while you're on a student visa, period. That's it.
Okay. So you can work only part-time, which is 20 hours, per week as of today. And then you can work full-time during your term break. So let's talk about the term break. When is the term break for students here in the UK?
Excellent question. I think everybody needs to understand this, that every university will have own term dates. So when you enroll into a university, your university will give you an enrollment letter. In that they would be specify what are the term dates, what are the vacation dates, and what are the course completion dates. Those you need to read out and put it as your phone wallpaper. Work accordingly, because it depends on the institution, it depends on the length of your course, it depends what are you actually studying and where are you studying. So it all depends on that factors. But all the universities, it's a rule by the Home Office, you need to put them down on the enrollment letter or your whatever kind of letter they give you in the beginning. According to that, you need to follow your work patterns. One thing I want to cover, there are many countries, because of the bilateral agreements with the UK, they get 10 hours per week as well during term time.
What does it mean?
So there are few countries in the UK, let's say even if you study above degree level, some nationalities just get to work 10 hours a week and not 20 hours a week.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So let's touch upon what you said in the introduction about, people cannot create a YouTube video and all that.
Yeah.
So why creating a YouTube video is not allowed? Say, now you said 20 hours is legally allowed, right? So can 20 hours, can they not make YouTube video, edit and publish it then?
At the end of the day, it is very difficult for you to justify to the Home Office the amount of time you're spending on making YouTube video.
True.
And then monetizing it. So this is for the audience. You need to understand there is a difference between making a YouTube video or putting it into a monetization. You can make YouTube videos, you can make TikToks, you can film your movie of yourself, but you cannot get paid for that and you cannot get monetized, because it would be very difficult for you as a student to justify that whether you were shooting in your own class or your own university and you're monetizing that. So I think I completely do not suggest any student to do that. Make as much content as you want, don't monetize them.
Okay. What if some students have already done it and now they are on, say, graduate visa or skilled visa?
Yeah.
Do they have to declare it at later stage for people who have already done it?
See, at the end of the day, there is no such, column on the home office form or anything as such. But if you have done it in the past, just stop it, doing that. Make sure whatever visa conditions you are on at this point of time, you should make sure that you follow and abide by the rules, because the repercussions are very severe. At the end of the day, you need to understand that home office always 2 steps ahead of us. So whatever you do, whatever you monetize, now everything is on social media and digital. You will get caught very easily. So remember.
Okay. Just thinking why self-employment is not allowed on a student visa, because again, creating a YouTube video is also self-employment.
Right.
And say freelancing, like say if I have some experience and a subject matter expert, I can teach people.
Right.
So if I become a tutor or a teacher or a private tutor, that is also self-employment. So just thinking, why self-employment not allowed on a student visa?
I'll cover this into 2 parts. As you asked me in the previous question that why not YouTube videos and why not monetize it, you are exactly right, Sarika. When we talk about YouTube videos, when we talk about monetization, that is self-employment. And self-employment is not legal when you are on a student visa. Because people might think, no, we can justify the 20 hours in YouTube, we can justify all these things. But the reason you need to understand, not everybody go through the guidance, not everybody go through the immigration rules. Here you need to understand, making a YouTube video and monetizing it, making a TikTok and putting in monetization, doing the AdWords, that is self-employment. To come back to your question that why it is not allowed, nowadays I have seen, because I came here 10 years back as an international student, and a lot of my colleagues, a lot of my classmates, that point of time, they gave the interview as well when they were coming to the UK on a student visa. And that time the home office asked the first question, are you going to work in the UK? What are your planning, working patterns or anything like that? Home office wants to make sure, and the scrutiny is like that you are just coming here to study and go back to your home country. So student visa is just for studying, as the name suggests. I always tell my client, yes, maybe you have got plans to do maybe a side hustle for 20 hours. Don't do your side hustle as a self-employment.
Right.
Do it always as a work placement. Get employed somewhere, but do not go against the rules.
Okay.
As simple as that.
Let's talk about what are the other freelancing stuffs which is not considered okay for student visa. I mean, which is considered illegal. So we talked about, of course, YouTube videos, and I was giving example of as a freelancer being a tutor.
Yeah.
So are those things allowed, or what is allowed or not allowed?
See, the only thing which is allowed that you are employed by a company for 20 hours per week or during your term time, and working full time during your holiday breaks and stuff like that. What is prohibited in student visa? You are registering your own company. You are working as a freelancer consultant, because somebody actually called me and asking me they got a consulting project to work as a freelancer. Again, the company was asking them to register a company and take the money in the business account, which is not allowed. Until and unless you're not on a graduate route, you're not allowed to do that. So I think anything related which gives you money on your own name, that is prohibited for student visa.
Okay. And also if you are working like a private tutor, that's not allowed, again, because you're working for yourself. So if you're working for yourself, it's not allowed.
Exactly.
You need to work with your employer.
Exactly.
So those stuffs are allowed as an employer, otherwise it will be considered illegal. Okay, great. What are the consequences if a student accidentally breaks one of these visa rules? What are the future implications? So they have done it now and they did not realize it. What can be done now?
I think it depends, because whenever they apply for a new set of visa application, or maybe they get caught in between doing those things, number one would be they might get deported. And I think that's the very common practice the home office has adopted, I think, since the time I have been into this country. Secondly, it will be very difficult for them to come back to the UK again, because if you apply for a visitor visa or maybe a skilled worker visa or come on any other category, it would impact your good character requirement as well. That's thing number 2. And I think one of the biggest thing what you need to understand, that even if you're doing any kind of stuff, there are some people who get involved into illegal activities as well. For those type of people, you will be banned for 10 years. So these are the things you need to understand before I always tell my clients, whether they are on a student visa, skilled worker visa or a graduate visa or any kind of them, if you are in doubt, don't do it.
Or contact you or someone legal.
At ykb@mac25.co.uk.
That's right. It's better to consult legal advisors or immigration experts, if at all you are confused, rather than breaking any rule and being sorry later.
That's true.
Okay. So what safe and legal ways exist for students to earn extra income without breaking rules? What I mean by that, the cost of living has gone up, right? And students are not only students, I think everybody in the UK, they are struggling. So they are finding ways to earn money. So other than what we already talked, if they have to earn more money legally, what are the things they can do?
Wait for your vacation times.
Yeah, that's true. Because that time you can earn double money.
Exactly. You can, because there's no limit to that. And one thing you need to understand, that whenever you're working 20 hours a week as well, you can work as a student union sabbatical officer with your university if you're elected. In student unions you get elected, so you can work with them. I think the salary is really very good in there. So I think a lot of people in our student union as well, back to the days, they used to get a good amount of salary. They used to work 20 hours a week, but still maybe you can get a proper employment with a good company for part-time. So even that way you're going to get more money, rather than maybe we are talking about Uber, Deliveroo and all those small stuff. If you work with a good company, you might get more amount of money. Depends on your job title as well.
So target maybe more white collar jobs where your
skill jobs.
Skill jobs where the per hour rate is higher, much higher as compared to say unskilled job or the blue collar jobs that you guys are targeting. So that will be beneficial. So just one thing coming back, because it's stuck in my mind. So we talked about as a teacher and tutor, I've seen many websites now where people can go and register. So say I'm an expert in maths and I want to teach people. I have not registered a company on my own name, but I go and register myself in that website, say mytutor.com or something like that. So through them, can I give service? Because now I'm not being paid directly, because they will be paying me if I coach 5 students there or 5 people there.
If you're under an umbrella, you're getting money through the payslip, or maybe there is a proof that you are under an umbrella and you have the record of your working 20 hours a week, that's not going to be a problem. Until and unless you're not a sole trader or you have a company on your own name, you're going to be fine. Make sure you have the data and you have the proof to back it up in case you get caught.
Thank you, Amil. Okay, so Amil, we already talked a lot about what is allowed versus not allowed on a student visa, and I hope this will be clear to people who are confused of what they should be doing while on student visa during their term break and versus the graduate visa. Now, talking about the Home Office, how strict is the Home Office when checking for illegal work or visa violations?
I think, Sarika, now we just talk about the scrutiny Home Office is doing with the sponsors, but university are the sponsors as well. So obviously the Home Office are very strict as far as the university licenses are also concerned, because the students get sponsored by them. So they are allowed to take whatever data they need from the university for each individual student who's in question. They have got a straight records with HMRC as well. Let's say if somebody gets caught, or maybe they're suspicious about someone, they can get the record from HMRC, because whoever will pay you on your bank account will pay on your NI number. So by that they can track the working hours as well.
Correct.
And now they are very strict as far as the deportation is also concerned. The university can send you the curtailment letter, or as I said, if you are involved in some legal activity, you can be removed or deported as soon as they want to.
Okay, so university of course cooperates and provide all the details so that Home Office can do their due diligence.
100%. Yes.
And of course in the news we have seen there are students who are doing more hours actually than needed, and especially cash in hand jobs as well. More people had been caught. Also I heard about Tesco students were caught doing more hours, and when they reached out to university, of course he was still on student visa. So such news are quite there everywhere now. So I think students need to be extra careful 100%. And avoid such things, otherwise the chances of deportation is quite high already.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not thinking about the deportation much. I'm thinking about if they ever want to come back to the UK, even on a visit visa, it would impact them highly.
Yeah, okay. One thing, not directly about what students are allowed or not allowed. So students, in terms of attendance, there are few people who miss the attendance and they get a letter from university.
Yeah.
So what are the rules around, how much attendance should you have and what is not allowed? Do you know about it?
Yeah, 100%. As I said, I did 2 masters here. So both my universities were really very strict. And both my universities had 75% of compulsory attendance 75. Where we had to scan our cards before entering into the class, and they actually take this thing into consideration. I don't know, it's been 10 years now, so I haven't been to a university, how things have changed digitally and how much percentage do we have now, because it depends on the individual universities as well. But yes, I do get a lot of call from students based on fees not paid or based on their attendance as well. They are getting the curtailment letter from the Home Office, and yes, it is a big breach of your visa conditions as well.
Okay.
Because if you're not working, then I think you're doing something which is not allowed with your visa.
Yeah.
So you need to be very much aware about it.
Yeah. And universities, how many times do they send a reminder? 2 to 3 times for sure?
I think at least once.
For sure.
Because I used to have few batchmates who never used to attend, and they got it once, and then they were like, we have to go back to the track.
Yeah, because they got an email from the university, right?
And I think after each term you get a detailed report as well. We used to get it back then about how much attendance we have and all those sorts of things. If somebody not used to go properly, they used to get a warning from the direct tutor, your personal tutor from the uni. So yeah.
Okay.
So
any piece of advice for students, say they want to visit, say, their home country due to some personal reason, but it's not their term break during their university classes. What is the legal steps they should say? Not legal or the right way. Do they need to inform the university in writing or the professor? What do they need to do?
Yeah. So even I have been to India during my term because of some
family
things back home, and the number one thing what you need to do is you need to email your university, explain them the situations, and if you have any evidence to back it up, you need to send it to the not the home office, the university as well.
Okay.
So if anything happens in the future as well, as far as your attendance and your exams and anything is concerned, you are going to be covered by them.
Yeah. What if they have to leave immediately? They send an email, but they don't get a response.
You don't need to wait for an approval if it's a family emergency, because the university would definitely understand that the need of the hour was you to take a flight and go back home. So I think informing them via email, explaining them the situation, and whenever you get time, sending them the evidence, that's the best step you can take.
Okay, all right. And generally, of course, the university will support if it's like the genuine case.
100%, yes. Yes.
Okay, so again, we talked a lot about regarding student visa, what's allowed, not allowed, and what are the steps and precautions that students should be taking. Any final piece of advice for students before we wrap today's video?
You took me actually 10 years back while filming this video, but I think for everyone, student visa, if anybody is looking for being in the UK for a long period of time, that is the foundation stage. Whatever you are going to do in this period, it's going to come with you for the next 10, 15, 20 years if you're still there in the UK. So make sure your foundation is very strong so that your future can be as smooth as possible.
Yeah, that's very good ending to this video actually.
That's what we all did,
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Amil. And I hope, guys, this video is useful for all the new students who are here, and also all ex-international students. If you think you have not followed the rule, now is also the time. So be careful. And then, of course, in your future documents, maybe if you have to do they have to share details if they have worked more hours? I don't know, or they worked illegally.
Just don't work more hours.
just try to avoid breaking any rules. Again, a good character to what we were also talking in our other videos. That is what you have to stick to it.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Amil. Thank you for coming and recording this video. And I hope this is useful for all the students, current and the future students as well. Thank you.